Hey there everyone, I'm King 5 Meteorologist Adam Claibon here to talk about a very active holiday week that we are going to see. Now, if there's any good news, it looks like the first couple of days here of the holiday week, Monday and Tuesday, not looking to be too active at all. So travel, of course, should be impacted, especially once we go later into the week, but not much of an issue here earlier on. And why? Well, check out what we're going to expect here over the next 7-day stretch. Anywhere between 2 to 2.5 to 4 inches of rain. Heavy amounts there across the mountains, lesser amounts with rain shadowing happening up this way across some of our island communities. Let's go ahead and get into it because we are going to have to call for first alert days starting up on Wednesday and lasting through Saturday. Now, that will include some stronger gusts, especially some of those gusts over 45 miles per hour for parts of the coast and more of our foothill communities. That will come with rain too, and we're going to see that in the lowlands as well, which will be heavy at times. And we will see some gusty winds, but probably not quite to the same extent as what we're expecting in some of those key locations farther to the north or either up into our highland areas and off towards the coast. Now, we do see up into the mountains, we're going to get a good dose of some heavy snow. Now, that will come with some mixing as snow levels do creep up as we go later into the week around maybe 5,500 feet. So Snoqualmie Pass, maybe seeing some mixing with that. And it even includes maybe some of Stevens Pass, but they start to level off around 4,000 feet. Speaking of the snow levels, as we go later on into that Wednesday and Thursday time. So Stevens Pass won't be really impacted as much with that mixing. But here you go. You can see the forecast next couple of days, some of your quieter days. So travel is going to be a little better then. Wednesday through Saturday, you see all the red. First alert days because of some of the active weather I just told you about. Wanted to take you out to what's happening in the mountains because that's where we have some of the clear conditions. Again, if you're trying to get away here today, we're going to be fine. Beautiful look at the Olympics there here in the Cascades, looking at Stevens Pass. Rose looking to be A-OK for you there, and here on your Monday, seeing that we're doing okay around Snoqualmie Pass as well. In the lowlands, even some breaks in the clouds giving us some sunshine here into the earlier part of this holiday week. Beautiful sunrises here across the area too. Tacoma, one of those spots, and seeing some sun out there looking live in Seattle. What we expect though is that those clouds will begin to make their way back in, and that's going to come with our next system arriving here as we head on into the night. So at about 4 to 5 o'clock, you are going to see the increase in the cloudiness. Rain showers coming in into the first part of the night, and that will bring in some mountain snow, but not the higher amounts that we're expecting as we go later into the week. Now, that's here, and we're going to get back to that. I wanted to show you big picture what's happening across the country. If you have any family coming in from parts of the Great Lakes or across the Northeast, quick clipper system moving through there, and that's helping to produce some snowfall, but also some blustery winds at the same time. Visibilities could be lowered because of that. Down here into the deep south, if you're flying over that way, or if maybe if you have any family coming from here, we're going to expect things to stay quiet. Now, off to the north, we are going to keep an eye out for that system as it makes its way farther to the east. Some pretty chilly air. That's why they are dealing with more of that snow, as temperatures have been in the teens and the 20s for highs up here into upstate New York and then across more of New England. As you go off back towards the west, center part of the country, warm enough that we're dealing with rain across Nebraska down into Kansas, and even looking at the airport in Denver, DIA, actually not seeing too much interaction with any of the weather that we're seeing moving on through there, as that system that came through us yesterday is now beginning to work its way off towards the east. You can see some returns starting to show up on the radar just outside of the Bay Area. That's our next system that's going to impact us here as we head on into the night. So as far as travel is concerned, Monday, more of those partly sunny to mostly sunny conditions as you're going over Snoqualmie, Stevens, and White Pass. Tonight, what we do expect is to have some of those showers moving on in. There will be some mixing at times, so some rain and snow, and we're expecting to see snow levels get up to about 5,500 feet. So again, probably will be more rain than snow at times with that, but we'll get some more rain, snow to mix in as we head on into the day on Tuesday as snow levels drop down to about 4,000 feet. If you're traveling on Christmas Day, that's going to be the big day. You see that 3 snow icons indicating that we expect some really heavy snow, and the snow levels down to 3,000 will help to keep things pretty much in the form of snow. And if you're traveling to any of our cities here around the area, Bellingham, we're going to see that rain pick up by the mid to latter part of the week. Wednesday and Thursday look to be the key wet days for us, definitely picking up here around Seattle, Port Angeles, and down around Olympia. Temperatures too trying to fall back a little bit as we head into the middle part of the week. Again, red bar because we're calling for a first alert day on Wednesday. Temperatures going from more of those low 50s down into the mid 40s as we see some breezy conditions. Tomorrow too going to be maybe a little windy, but should it be nearly as breezy as what we're expecting heading on into Wednesday. So here's the radar, and you can see things fairly quiet here into your Monday. Off towards the west, there's that system that's going to be heading right up towards us here across parts of the Pacific Northwest and more of the west coast of the U.S. That's going to be bringing in some of the shower activity that we're expecting for tonight. All right, big picture with that. Here we are, future winds showing here by the evening. Starting to see some of those gusts pick up a little bit out towards the coast and more of the foothill communities again. Where you see some of those pinks and purples showing up is where we could see some of those gusts around 35 to 40, maybe even closer to 45 miles per hour. That will include some of our gaps down this way. So through Snoqualmie Pass, North Bend, you could see some of those higher gusts. Down this way too, around Enumclaw, Buckley, even Black Diamond. Keep an eye out for some of those higher gusts to get up closer to 40, maybe 45 miles per hour. You'll see that as you go up farther north across the Cascade foothills as well, and then off towards the coast where we could see some of those gusts up to about 40 to 45 miles per hour. Then as we go deep into the night, you can see that does start to give way a little bit because our front should pass by at this point. And then we continue on into more of the day on Tuesday, and your Tuesday's not looking to be too bad at all. Again, we're going to be breezy, so those winds elevated up to around 20 to 25 miles per hour, but nothing really extreme. So going to be okay as you're driving and moving your way about here across western Washington or trying to push your way across farther east across the state here. Just maybe a little more snow to deal with up into some of those parts. But the coast's going to be giving a little bit of a break as we head on into that time tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow night. So let's go ahead and fast forward to what we're going to be seeing heading on into Wednesday. And this is 10 o'clock Wednesday morning. You see Christmas Day, we're starting to see some of those gusts picking back up again around 40 to 45 miles per hour out towards the coast. The Strait too, starting to see that up here towards the Admiralty Inlet as well. And then that will eventually start to spread its way farther to the east, and we'll see some of those stronger gusts as well. Probably not a huge wind producer, but we're definitely going to see some higher winds, maybe some higher surf to go along with that too out here towards the coast, and quite a bit of moisture to go with that for Christmas Day. So let's talk about that. Futurecast showing that as we go throughout the rest of today and tonight, there's really little to talk about here. We're going into this evening at about 8 o'clock on your Monday, and you can see a few showers are around. This is going to be part of that weaker band that's going to move on through. Some snow to go along with that as well. Some heavier showers, but it's a very quick hitter, and it moves out of here, and we're at the tail end of that by about midnight heading into early Tuesday morning. And then once that works off towards the east, here we are at 8 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. You can see some of those breaks beginning to clear on out, and that's going to leave us with a drier day. We'll have some breezy conditions, but again, no really strong or extreme winds to go along with that. For tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, that's still more of a quieter patch of time for us that if you are doing any traveling, I think you're going to be a-okay there. Then for Christmas morning, here we are at 7 to 8 o'clock. That next system just beginning to arrive right on the doorstep of western Washington. And then that will start to work its way farther to the east as we go throughout the rest of the morning and into the afternoon. So some moderate to heavier pockets of rain going along with that. That's why you see all these yellows and even some oranges beginning to pop up. Some heavier, again, rain going to be moving on through with this. And we're going to start off with some pretty heavy snow too, as we're going to keep those snow levels at about 3,000 to 3,500 feet. And that's not something that really moves all that quickly. You remember the system coming in through tonight. We're going to see that move out of here in about 3 to 4, maybe even 5 hours. This one is going to be around for pretty much the entire day on Wednesday, and we'll keep some of those showers around as we head into Wednesday night and then really into Thursday too. Here we are at 7 o'clock. You're still seeing quite a wide area of precipitation working its way here across western Washington. Now, what could limit some of those rainfall totals, what you're seeing right here, rain shadowing, which could limit those areas here near and north of Seattle. So we'll see how all that comes together, but we're definitely expecting to see the higher totals with that system because by about 11 o'clock Wednesday morning or Christmas morning, we're going to see amounts between about 2 to 6, maybe up to 8 inches. And I think, again, should be a little less than what you're seeing on some of these numbers right here, due in part because of some of the higher snow levels that we're expecting as we head on into that time. But then once you get past that time, that system heading in on Christmas Day, that's really going to ramp things up for us just through 1 o'clock. Early into Thursday morning, you add down another, or you put down another half a foot to a foot, maybe even a foot and a half of snow down into some of these ski resorts right here. So that's going to be a good bit of fresh powder on the ground there, and we continue to do that as we go into the rest of Thursday and into Friday. Now, the rainfall totals that we're expecting with that up into that point again, 11 o'clock Wednesday morning for your Christmas, we're going to see between about a quarter to a half an inch in most spots, maybe a little higher out there towards the coast. And then we add what's going to be happening afterwards as that system comes in. A lot more rain, about a half to 3/4 of an inch to maybe an inch and a half up to about 3 o'clock, early Thursday morning, before we continue to put down more. Here as we go throughout the day, you can see the rain shadowing happening up this way around Bellingham and across Friday Harbor. And beyond that point too, we're going to see that system move on out of here. That was Wednesday. Here we are into Thursday morning at 11 o'clock. You can see we're at the tail end of that disturbance and those showers decreasing before the next disturbance comes right in. And this is going to include the entire west coast, at least down to the Bay Area. So that's where you can expect to see the rain if you have any plans down this way across Portland or heading down to San Francisco. Get ready for it. That will come through heading into Thursday evening, Thursday night, into the earlier half of Friday. And then one comes in right behind that, the second half of Friday, heading more into the day on Saturday with some pretty heavy rain before we do see, I think, a little bit of a break heading on into Sunday before things do start to ramp up again. But you can see the greens that are popping up here, not nearly as dark, not as much of that yellow shading color either, indicating more of the heavier rain. So that might be a little more doable when it comes to travel at that point. So your forecast: Christmas Day, temperatures mid to upper 40s, some low 50s, rain increasing as we go throughout the day here in western Washington. Those of us celebrating Hanukkah, that starts up Wednesday evening as the sun sets, and temperatures are calling for more of those mid 40s with those showers in the forecast then. And then as we look farther out, I just wanted to show you this, and it's still quite a ways out, but keep an eye out for New Year's Eve forecast, because it looks like as of right now, we'll have a few showers around, temperatures in the mid 40s, winds relatively light. We need just enough wind though to blow some of that fireworks smoke out of here and give us a good nice visual of the Space Needle. So we'll see how things come together with that. But definitely as we head into the middle and latter part of this week, we're expecting some pretty breezy, windy, and also rainy conditions. For today's forecast, in the low to mid 50s, will be milder. Average highs at about the upper 40s right now, so we'll actually be closer to those numbers for some of our overnight lows as they drop down into the mid and upper 40s. And here's your forecast again. What's really going to catch your attention Wednesday through Saturday, and it's going to be the time that traveling not going to be quite as advisable as what we're going to be expecting here over the next couple of days. Monday and Tuesday should be a whole lot better for us, and by Sunday I think we should be doing a little bit better too as we head on into that time. Enjoy the holiday season, get there safe, and we'll talk to you later.